The Predator. The Predator is directed by Shane Black, who is in the first Predator movie playing the character of Hawkins. And there's a sequel to the other Predator movies. I'm not sure if it's a sequel to Alien vs Predator, because I think those movies, they just stand on their own as their own little movies, as their own little versus movies. They're not really a part of the Alien and Predator universe, even though they have like xenomorphs and predators in them. I don't think they really tie into any of the Predator or Alien movies. I think they just stand on their own as their own little versus movies. That's all they are. But the Predator is a sequel to Predator 1 and Predator 2, because this movie actually references Predator 1 and Predator 2 in it. So what did I like in the Predator? So the first thing I like is the Super Duper Ultimate Predator was a semi-core addition to this Predator movie. That's hard to say because there's not a lot I like in this movie. And when I was taking my notes, I was trying to think of stuff that I liked in this movie, and it's really not a lot. And I just tried to think of something because I did not want to hate this movie just for the sake of hating it. And I tried to think of something I liked, and the Super Duper Ultimate Predator was, I guess, the only thing I could come up with that I thought was at least okay in this movie. It's okay. It's okay at the way that how the movie presented this, like this Super Duper Ultimate Predator. It's cool the way that they presented it. So yeah, the Super Duper Ultimate Predator was a semi-cool addition to this Predator movie because he's strong, he's there to get business done, and he will kill people if they get in his way. And I thought the Ultimate Predator fight scenes were the most entertaining part of the movie. Even in one scene, the Super Duper Predator kills another Predator of their kind, of the exact same kind, and I thought that was a very ballsy move that Shane Black did. And then of course it's the obvious things I liked in the Predator, the costume designs for the original classic Predator. I mean, they always look really good. There's good charisma between this team of men. Yeah, actually, yeah, that's all I like in this movie. So now, what didn't I like in the Predator? So the first thing I didn't like, who I've been wanting to talk about, the thing I did not like, is there's a lot of people. I've been looking forward to this. This is the reason why I'm doing this review, is just to rant at how bad and how shitty this installment is in the Predator franchise. So the first thing I didn't like is Shane Black's direction in this is non-existent. There was none of it. It just looks like Shane Black said, "Just do whatever. I'll be back. I'm going for a coffee break." Does anyone want a coffee? Okay, it's only me. Okay. Ah, that's good coffee. Alright, action! Shane Black's direction in this is the worst I have ever seen it. With the talent of Shane Black, and I know Shane Black knows how to make good movies. Like Iron Man 3, that is a perfect example. But he just does not show it here. It just looks like Shane Black's trying to do the most laziest job he can possibly do. It's like Shambach got in a competition with another director and he was like, I bet you $1,000 I can make my shittiest, worst movie of the year. And it's like, this is what we got. This is what Shane Black had to put us through. This is the torture Shane Black put us through, was the Predator. And I don't know, the Shane Black's direction, I just did not like it. It just was not here for about 98% of this movie. Screw you, Shane Black. I had to pay an $8 movie ticket to see your piece of trash. Screw you, Shane Black. Why would you give us an unfinished movie? 'Cause that's all this movie looks like. It just looks like an unfinished installment. It just looks like there was like 40 minutes of footage cut out of the film. It's just, why would you do this to us, Shane Black? And plus, the Predator went through like a lot of studio interference and reshoots for the third act. It's just, why would you give us the worst possible movie you could possibly direct? Why? Even if there was reshoots on the Predator, he still could have given us a decent enough movie with decent enough characters. Oh, and I'll get to the characters because holy shit! Let's move on to the second thing I didn't like, and the second thing I didn't like is the acting. Everyone just looks like they're giving it their lowest performance. The actors just look like they're taking the movie as a big joke. It's like the actors know the writing is bad, and they just don't want to try. The only actor I thought did a decent enough job was Boyd Holbrook. I think that's how you say his name. He felt like he was actually trying. Like he was the only actor that showed like that showed charisma out of the whole group. The thing I didn't like is the characters. Oh, now we're getting into the good stuff right now. The characters, I think what bothered me the most is when you first meet them on the bus in like 10 minutes into the movie, there is no development or chemistry given to any of them. Like when these guys kill for the first time, there's no sympathy or emotion put into that scene. The movie just does not pause and have that and have that, oh my god, I just killed a person moment. Oh shit, what have I done? What have I done? I just took someone's life. There's never a moment like that. If there is a moment like that, the movie just rushes over it just that quick, and just like just these characters have never killed before, and they are just really happy and excited to kill the predator. They're like, "Oh, come at me, you son of a bitch!" They're just all smiling and laughing. It just looks like they're having a good time. It's like this is a live or death situation against a predator, and it's like a predator is a space alien. There's really no safety limit for that predator. He can kill whoever he wants because he's a space alien. It's just, and I just did not like the characters whatsoever. Because maybe if Shane Black actually, because he was actually involved in the writing process of this movie, maybe if Shane Black actually put some character development into it, like the only character like this is one actor and only one character I thought I actually got invested in, but I still did not care. I still did not care for him to the point where I did not want him to die. Basically, all these characters I wanted to die at some point. And it's good that they did die. Like, yeah, spoilers, whatever. The movie's been out for like 1 month or something now, 2 months probably, but I do not know. But yeah, spoilers. All the characters do die. There's only one man standing, and of course that has to be in the third act. Like like the last man standing against the predator. So yeah, I was happy that all the characters did die. And the only character I did actually feel that I actually liked was was Boyd Halbrook's character. He's the only actor I thought actually had that actually showed chemistry out of the whole group, and he was the only character I at least I kind of liked, I semi liked, I guess. But anyways, let's move on to the fourth thing I didn't like, and that is the script. Mmm. In this, there is so much shit going on in the 2 hour runtime of this movie. Like this time around, we have predator dogs, we have a super duper predator, along with this group of guys killing the predator and trying to have a story along the way. And I cannot see how this movie got made with the shit that is thrown into it at the last second. Since when did anybody ask for predator dogs? That's right, this movie has predator dogs. They do not help carry the plot. They're just there as a new addition to the franchise. It's like, what's the purpose of these predator dogs? Why? Just and then the Super Duper Predator, like I said, that was probably my only like. I thought whenever the Super Duper Predator was on screen, it was okay. I mean, his scenes were probably the most entertaining part of the movie, and plus I was bored for like 99% of this movie. That 1%. I owe it to the Super Duper Predator because he kind of saved it with his scenes. Whenever he was on screen, it was actually pretty cool to see him like beat up people and all that. That was cool. But it's just who ever asked for a for predator dogs? Who ever asked? Shane Black, if you're watching this video, who ever asked for predator dogs? There's not a single predator fan. I mean, I have friends of my own that are predator fans and that are fans of the franchise, and they even said to me like that they did not ask for predator dogs. Why would anybody think of predator dogs? It's the most stupidest possible thing this movie could have done. That's what I mean. This movie just has so much shit going on. I mean, the story is barely not there. There's unlikable characters, awful acting, and Shane Black's direction. Do not get me started on that. It's just there's so much shit going on in this in the 2 hour runtime of the Predator. Okay, now let's calm down a little bit. Let's move on to the fifth thing I didn't like. And the fifth thing I didn't like is lines from the original. That's right. We are back at Predators again, people. Like, one major thing I hate about the Predator was it used iconic lines from the original Predator, like get through the chopper. One of the characters actually say that about 10, 20 minutes into the movie, and it sucks because the movie can't come up with their own lines. They just have to copy and paste lines from the original. It's like, that's the one issue I had with Predators, and I thought Predators was kind of a throwback to classic Predator because it was based in a jungle. It was a Predator hunting them. That's why I kind of like Predators, and that was the same issue with Predators. Is it copied lines like "Get to the chopper" and all that. And that just this movie just does nothing. It basically just copies and pastes scenes from the original and copy and paste lines, iconic lines, by the way, from the original Predator, like "Get to the chopper, go, run, get to the chopper." It's uh, it is bloody ridiculous the stuff this movie comes up with. I mean, but this movie probably bothered me the most. I mean, Predators, I can kind of excuse that for having the same lines because that movie's kind of a throwback to about the same time. That's one thing I did not like about Predators is it had lines from the original. It just copied and pasted. There's no like Shane Black could have done something very original with this and came up with his own iconic lines, but instead we just get the same old lines, and that's what made the first Predator so good is the characters' like chemistry and their charisma, and the way Arnold said "get to the chopper," he actually meant it. But this guy just sounds like it just seems like it's like a reference to the original Predator, and it just does not work. As in, holy shit! But we are almost at the end of this, but we still have a little while to go. Okay, so now the sixth thing I didn't like. That's right, six things I fucking did not like about this movie. We are six like dislikes in already. Like, and the sixth thing I didn't like is the humor in this. It's so forced. Like, none of it lands. I did not laugh once, and that's a thing about Shane Black's like movies. Is he likes to add humor into his movies. Like, out of the movies I've seen, he likes to add that comedic tone to it, like Iron Man 3. That movie was, I think, the first Iron Man movie to actually have probably the most comedy in it, the most comedic out of the whole franchise. Actually, some pretty damn offensive jokes in this movie as well. Like, there's jokes about women's vaginas. There's jokes about basically every single like rude thing. Like, there's that scene in the show where he says, where he says, if your mom's vagina was in a video game, it would be rated E for everyone. That's probably the only joke I actually laughed at in the cinema. But even though it wasn't, the cinema overall I think was not well thought out. There were probably at least two scenes I laughed at, and that joke where he said, if your girlfriend's vagina was in a, for your wife's vagina was in a video game, it would be rated E for everyone. Like, it's some offensive jokes like that, which I cannot see how this movie has not got offended by any women. I'm just so surprised by that. How this movie has not got like offended by like any women actors out there or any just women in general. I'm just there's offensive jokes in this movie. I cannot see how the movie got away with that. But I think overall the humor just did not work. I mean, I was just sitting there just cringing at how bad these jokes are. I mean, I was sitting in my seat just cringing most of the time at the jokes because they're not funny. They're dull, cringy, and embarrassing to the Predator franchise. Now or the Predator trilogy, franchise or trilogy. You can call it whatever. But it's just this humor just did not land. There were like two scenes I laughed at. If I had to choose two things I did laugh at, there were only two scenes that I did laugh in the entire 2 hour runtime. But about 98% of the jokes just they fell flat. Okay, so we're on to the last. We're on to the last dislike, and the seventh dislike is the Predator. I mean, he does not act like a Predator in this, because in the first Predator, the Predator was a sneaky stealth alien, but in this he's all smart and comedic. It's like the Predator actually has a brain, because there there's a scene in this where the Predator is like slaughtering like a ton of people in a van, and he grabs one of the soldiers' arms and he does like the whole thumbs up thing to the driver, because the driver asks, "Is everything okay back there?" And the Predator puts the arm with the thumbs up. That's probably the second joke I laughed at. But besides that, yeah, that's the humor, and that's the Predator would never do that. I mean, he would slaughter the driver as well. That's what I expected the Predator to do, but they use that scene as a comedic moment. It's just like, no, I don't want to see this. I want to see the Predator, slaughtering people. I want to see the Predator like slicing and dicing people, and I want to see blood and gore. And I guess another thing I could give this movie credit for is, I'm gonna just think of this right now, is the gore factor. Like this movie, because it's rated MA 15 plus, and I think the movie it definitely deserves that, because there's a lot of blood in this movie. It's not like torture porn level blood or level gore, but there's definitely a lot of gore in this movie for sure. I mean, when the Predator's slicing people down, yeah, trust me, it's quite graphic, pretty damn brutal. If you're one of those people that do not like seeing blood, this movie's not for you. Trust me, stay away from it if you're not easy with the whole with gore and blood and all that, because this movie is a shit ton of it. And another thing I did not like was the cinematography. It was just half-assed as well. This whole movie is half-assed. So overall, the Predator was a big mess with so much going on in a short amount of time, with so many storylines and subplots going on. The script was a big bloated mess of shit. Adding the Predator dogs, the ultimate Predator, the characters are effing effing awful in this. The acting was very bad. The humor was very forced in at that last minute. As in, I cannot see how this is even a Predator movie. It is nothing new that the other Predator movies haven't already done. The other like AVP2, that's already been based in a city. Like the first Predator that was based in a jungle. So basically every single Predator movie, it's like the Russians were like, we have not seen like a Predator movie that's based in a jungle and city at the same time. It's like, let's do AVP again and Predator. Let's take those two locations and put them into this movie. Like, there's so much shit in this movie. Holy shit! Oh god. Like, I mean, I actually had hope for this movie, but I mean, I'm a big fan of the Predator. But anyways, yeah, this movie also set up for a sequel with a new upgraded super duper Predator suit. What? What? The like? Anyways, yeah. Let me know down in the comments. Have you seen the Predator? What did you think of it? Yeah, I suppose I should give you my rating for the Predator. So I will say the Predator is terrible and forgettable. This is easily one of the most disappointing, one of the worst movies of the year by far. As in, I kind of had a little bit of hope for this, but and I like watch like this, watch the Predator instead. Like, even Alien vs Predator is so much better than this. Like, this movie actually has it. Like, the movie knows it's dumb. That's what kind of I had to admire about it, is kind of the CGI and the location that they chose to shoot this movie. And I thought the location was very Predator Alien-ish. And that's why I really like this movie. This movie's a lot more fun than this movie. So do not go out. Do not like pay. Do not pay like a full ticket price. Do not like pay for this movie on Amazon Prime. Do not pay for this movie on Blu-ray. Do not pay for this movie on DVD. Don't do any of that. Just stay away from this. Like I said, watch Alien vs Predator, or watch Predator. Because I'll even say Alien vs Predator 2 Requiem is better than this. And that movie's god awful, because you can't even see a damn bloody thing that's going on screen. But it's certainly a lot more entertaining than this pile of shit. That is 2 hours of my life gone. As in, I seriously hated life watching this. But at the same time, this was a good movie just to escape my life, because it's kind of like a lot of stuff going on right now, and I think this was a good way to watch. I mean, I did not care what movie I wanted. This was probably the only movie I have not yet seen, but that this and Crazy Rich Asians and Cinder's First Man coming out, which I'm going to go and see tomorrow. So my review of that should be up tomorrow sometime maybe. So anyways, mm, just yeah, just stay away from this movie. Stay as far away as possible from this movie. I can. This movie actually has like a. I'm not sure what the percentage on Rotten Tomatoes is for this movie right now, but whatever it is, it's like I've actually talked to some people that have actually thought this was a decent movie. I can. And like of course you've got to respect because you know opinions are opinions, and we live in that world where we have to respect each other's opinions. And for those people who actually like this movie, who are watching this review, I mean, I'm glad you like it. Glad you had a great experience. I'm glad you thought the trailer was a good movie. But for me, this movie was just a big pile of dog shit. Dog shit. I did not like this movie at all. So, anyways, let me know down in the comments. Have you seen The Predator? What did you all think of it? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below because I'm very actually curious to know where you like end up. Like, do you like this movie like some people, or do you really damn hate it like me? And this movie, I can like I paid a whole $8 for a movie ticket, and that's I bet how much. That's I bet how much the budget of this movie is. Because okay, I want to stop talking about this movie right now. So anyways, guys, I hope you have a good night, and I'll see you in the next movie review.